Hey. How's it going? I'm kidding. This is your captain speaking, and welcome to another live stream. That was only semi-accurate to how I am currently feeling. A lot of things kind of combined last night to ensure that I did not get the proper sleep that I needed. Number one, I had to work at 8 a.m. this morning, which means I woke up at 6 a.m., which immediately cut off 2 hours of my normal sleep time. Then the time the daylight savings happened, great, farmers, you need an extra hour, fantastic. Can't you just tell time differently? So I lost another hour to that. And then I have this thing when it comes to editing videos where when I get really invested in an edit, I will continue to edit it until I am satisfied, regardless of any kind of outside forces. So I ended up editing for 2 hours longer than I should have. So as a result, I lost 5 hours of sleep, and I only slept 3 hours last night. That used to be pretty normal for me, but these days I'm a little more used to keeping on a normal schedule and sleeping at regular times, so I'm really, really tired today. And so I wanted to do a live stream because I haven't done my 3 live streams for this week, and I like doing 3 live streams every week. And I still needed to finish this massive fucking video I've been working on for Monster Hunter. And so on the suggestion of a friend of mine, I decided to combine the two. So we are doing today the first ever Captain Mac editing live stream, video editing live stream. So really groundbreaking, really exciting, I think. Welcome, Scorpion. Good job beating Teostra. There will be no spoilers in this video. This is all stuff you've already seen. But good job. I'm proud of you. Boom. There it is. Welcome to Premiere Pro CC 2018, probably 2018. This is the program that I do all of my editing in, and like the Adobe family is what I do all my editing in. And it's what we'll be working with today. The video I'm working on today is from my and Green's attempts to kill Nergigante. The reason this video has been such a bane on my existence and has taken me so long to get done is because I had about 10 hours of total footage to work with. To put that in perspective, for a normal one of my one-shot videos, I use like 2 to 4 hours of footage. So it's a lot more than I'm used to working with, and it's been interesting seeing how that has changed my process. Or how my process has had to adapt. The main thing being I have even less time in the week than I normally do. Normally I have the video done by now. Normally I have videos done by Friday, but so this is the big edit that kept me up late last night. There was this fantastic little moment there where I kind of did a Dragon Ball Z meme and I just started screaming. Going super serious mode, and I decided I wanted to put it in the video, but I knew like I couldn't just have me screaming. Like that's not humor. If I'm going to the screaming is humor route, then I'm not making good videos. But I still wanted to include it, so I knew I had to do something really unique and interesting with it. So this is so far what I've got. We're gonna be editing this a little bit today. Let me turn off save margins so you can see what I got working with here.
Wait, hang on. Actually,
let me know if you can hear it.
What you're looking at now is my normal state.
It's gonna lag a little bit.
This is a regular hunter. This is a hunter that has ascended beyond a regular hunter, or you could just call it high rank. And this is to go even further beyond. Ah!
And this is serious mode. And that's the extent of it. That took about 2 hours. There's kind of a lot going on here. You can see up here in this section in these pink parts, these are the black bars that are on the ends. The stuff up here, this is the text that's on top of it. This is also text down here. These are also black bars here. This thing in the middle is that fade to white here. Normally I just use a dip to white on these other spots right here. Like this is just a dip to white transition. But because I had these electricity shocks going on at the same time, I had to create my own dip to white instead of just using the default thing. So that's where that one comes from. Down here you have my audio. In here, I have a couple of audio clips that have been exported and made to have an echo sound, as you might have heard.
Is to go even further beyond.
Because I was kind of emulating that awesome Dragon Ball Z thing where he kind of has an echo to his voice when he starts going Super Saiyan 3. So I wanted to do that too. In here, I kind of just I took this yell, duplicated it, and then pushed it forward a frame so you could kind of hear two of them at the same time, which sounds kind of different. I don't know. I thought it worked. I thought it sounded pretty cool. Down here we have the power-up sounds that you can hear. That sound. And then down here you have, and if I turn off the music you can hear it better, the kind of aura sound effect that you get when characters are powering up in Dragon Ball.
This is a regular hunter.
You can kind of hear it back there. And you can see the shocks on top of my character coincide with shocks that are in this sound effect, which is an aura effect from Super Saiyan 2. This pink piece here is those shocks. It's an After Effects composition that has been brought into Premiere Pro. I made all that myself. I had to learn how to work with the lightning effect in After Effects, and then I had to carefully, frame by frame, track it onto my character for every time that shock sound effects happen in that sound, which that took about 20 minutes alone. And then down here at the very bottom I have some music. This is it's called Jet Set Run from My Hero Academia Season 2. It's like
what you're looking at now is my normal.
It kind of became a meme song.
There's a
lot going on. It took a long time. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. I'm very happy with how it's turned out so far. There is one thing I wanted to change in here. When I'm screaming in here, I kind of edited the audio to change as it goes across. I don't even know if you can hear me over my own screaming, but I edited the screaming a little bit as you go across, so there's kind of a build up. Like it's normally first it's just me yelling with an echo, then it's me yelling with kind of two going at the same time, then it's me yelling with two going at the same time with an echo. So the audio builds up, but there's no video build up to go along with that. You know what I mean? Like the only thing to indicate that I'm powering up is the electric shocks. So I think the idea that I had instead, you can see kind of in here, if I get rid of these fades especially, you can tell. Actually, no, that one can stay. But this one, you can see this is... Where is it? Oh, come on. It snaps to the wrong thing. Hang on. You can see... You see how it's overblown like crazy? That's just a one frame difference. I'm using a look. You know what? I've never done this before. I should use the mouse to show what I'm pointing at. I literally pointed at the screen with my finger. Like, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. They know what I'm pointing at. You can see the footage up here is really overblown, especially compared to the last frame. This is the default game. In here, I applied a look, SL Clean Slate LDR. It starts at 200 intensity. I'm pointing at the screen again, and you can see down here it slowly transitions back down to 100, which gives it a little bit of a more normal look. And I mask that using the dip to white. So it starts out overblown, which kind of works with that powering up, and then it kind of cools down a little bit. So here's kind of my thinking.
Hunter. This
is
a hunter that is
as I'm screaming, we can increase the intensity of that effect.
So
let's try doing that. And we're going to be using more of that power up sound effect. I think it's this one. No, this one. There we go. And I can't remember. I think I decreased the sound of the track there instead of decreasing the audio files themselves. Yes, I did. So I don't have to decrease that audio file at all. So like right here, we're going to start screaming. And at the end of that scream, I want to like have it power up a little bit, you know? So we pop this in here. And we're going to cut it a little bit because there's a couple seconds of dead space here. And my scream might be overpowering the power-up sound effect. So let's put that like right here. Actually, let's move it right to the end of the scream. That kind of makes sense. Like as I'm finishing the scream, it's like a little bit of a power-up. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we're going to cut here. We're going to go into our effects. Look for dip to white. That's the one I'm using. Actually, that's a lie. We're not using dip to white. Because we have the same issue here that I was talking about at the very end here, where I have this electricity electricity effect going on at the same time. Lowering the sound of the video. No, I can lower it. I just wasn't sure how far I needed to lower it. So thank you for letting me know about that, because I can do that. Keep letting me know until it sounds good. I just lowered it a little bit. We have the same issue here. I have the Thundershocks going on at the same time as the dip to white. So what we're going to extend to is go into my graphics folder here. If there's anything that any video editor should know, it's to be organized. All right, you can see everything's very neatly organized here. I have footage, audio, sequences, graphics, screen, and then everything down here will move into the graphics folder, but it starts there by default. But you can see all my graphics are in here. My text graphics, I have little color mats in here, as well as After Effects compositions that I'm using within it. It's important to stay organized. You can never forget how important that is. So we're going to real quick add this dip to white. We're going to shorten it just to get an idea of what we want this to look like, all right? And since we're working on top of an After Effects composition, it's going to be a little bit laggy as we're going across here. It needs to be a little bit quicker than that, I think. And this dip to white kind of needs to happen at the apex of the power-up sound effects. We're going to move it like right here. There we go. That's better. And we go back into here. We add this white effect. We're going to start it right at the beginning of this dip to white and using the snapping, and we're just going to move the cross dissolve to start right here, or to finish right in the middle. Then we're going to add another cross dissolve onto here, make it super short. I don't know if that's short enough. That's not short enough. We're going to make it super short. Make it match up with this dip to white, and then make that cross dissolve. So it's only going to be 100% white for a single frame, and then it's back to dissolving. And then we can get rid of this cross dissolve. Bam! Now the effect happens over top of the thunder as well. And in between there, we're going to go into here, our effect controls, and we're going to adjust the intensity of this to 175. So you can see if we hide this file here, from one frame to the next, it's going to become a little bit more intense, that effect. I wish I could go a little more intense than that. Let's go with 180. It'll be subtle. But you'll notice it. And then we'll put that back on. And then we kind of want to do the same thing here. Create that power-up effect right at the end of the screen. And then create a cut here. Just to make it easier on us trying to create that dip to white. It's easier if we have something to work with, to start with. So we create that dip to white. I'm not even sure there's going to be a shock here. No, there's no shock here, so there's really no reason to create that color matte instead. We'll just go with the regular dip to white. And that was actually a little bit too short of a dip to white there. I think we should move that a little bit further down. There we go, that's more like it. So now we render what we just did. And then we'll see if this helps at all. You can decide if it's totally unnecessary or if you think it helps.
Is my normal state. This is a regular hunter. This is a hunter.
Oh, hang on. We're not done here. Slow up there, cowpoke. We're not done just yet. The one thing we did forget to do, we got to change the intensity of this effect all the way up to 200. So it's really going crazy here at the end. Again, we render the things we just edited. It's the only problem with working with After Effects compositions as well as Lumetri effects, which is what's causing that look. You do have to render after you do pretty much anything, or else it's going to lag a little bit. Or you can just watch it at a lower quality, but
wait, hang on, actually,
about that life.
What you're looking at now is my normal state. This is a regular hunter. This is a hunter that has ascended beyond a regular hunter. Or you could just...
Hang on. Did I have the wrong song in here? What song is this? Oh, that's what happened. Okay, I was fucking around last night with the possibility of using 2 different songs. So within this effect, I had kind of 3 different songs in mind, all from My Hero Academia. The original You Say Run. Where is it? No, wrong one. The original You Say Run, which is kind of became a meme of like, You Say Run fits with everything, and it does. So the original version of it potentially was going to use this. This is the song I ended up going with. And this was the third option. So I was using the wrong song this entire time and didn't even catch it. So this is what it's actually supposed to sound like.
Actually,
I just now noticed it because I was paying attention to it. Make sure to save often.
wait, hang on. Actually, what you're looking at now is my normal state. This is a regular hunter. This is a hunter that has ascended
the intensity
beyond
goes up and then
a
drops
regular
back
hunter.
down.
Or you could just call it high rank. And this is to go even further beyond.
So after this scream, the intensity will go up. Pay attention to that. Hang on. Where was that sound effect? Did I accidentally? I fucked up. I meant to duplicate this sound effect, but I must not have been holding down Alt. Scooch this over a little bit then. Gonna make sure again that the dip to white is kind of at the apex of the power up sound. Okay, now that that's there, you don't always have to go back to the beginning to rewatch things all the way through. That's just kind of the way that I like to edit, and it depends case to case. I'm just
wait, hang on. Actually, what you're looking at now is my normal state. This is a regular hunter. This is a hunter that has ascended beyond a regular hunter, or you could just call it high rank. And this is to go even further beyond.
There we go. Okay, then you can really see the intensity of that effect in there.
And this is serious mode.
And then I decided to make it so serious mode was literally the same thing as it was at the beginning. Both kind of as a joke on the fact that nothing actually changed, and just kind of because I didn't want to have to edit in some big effect anytime I was making a serious mode joke in this video, because I don't even remember where they all are. But yeah, it's kind of like serious mode in essence is just going to be that pink text. And you can see the text has a build up too, which I'm kind of proud of. It's just my normal white and black text here. Once you power up a little bit, it's yellow like a Super Saiyan. Then it becomes pink, which pink is, you know, my color. And then I'm pointing with my finger again. That doesn't work. You can't see my finger. And then the last version of the text is filled in with pink. So that's serious mode when it's filled in with pink. Good luck with that, boss, Scorpion. It's an interesting one. It's cool.
God, I made myself lightheaded by doing that.
Oh, damn it.
You know, obviously, I don't feel the need to put in graphics, crazy graphics like that for everything that I edit, because I simply wouldn't get videos done that way. So now's the part I finished editing a part of the video, and now is the part where I just watch through what I've got and see where else I might want to add something.
Holy shit. Big Ross. No, God. No, God. No.
None of this needs anything.
What?
Because it's just us playing the game.
No way.
No.
See, this might be helpful because we say something.
She just limped away.
What?
She just limped away.
She's got the death symbol. She's got the death symbol. We're doing it.
So there's a couple different things I want to do here. The first one's going to be to add text, subtitles, for what Green and I are both saying, so that you can understand the context of what's happening in the video.
No way.
No.
And we're going to add in safe margins again. This is important. A lot of online video creators don't use this because you don't have this restriction with online video as much, but it's still very much important. These are called safe margins, okay? There are two boxes around this. What these boxes represent, the inner box is called title safe, and the outer box is called action safe. The idea behind these is that anything within the outer square should be things that are happening on screen that you need to know about. Like, so if a monster is attacking, it needs to be within that box. If you're watching a film and you have two characters talking, and one of them like pulls out a gun, the gun has to be within that box. It cannot be like at the very bottom out of sight. The second one, the inner box called title safe, is there for text and graphics. And you can see virtually every news media outlet, movie, video games included, use these things. Title safe is generally where you want to put text so people can see it. The reason these originally existed is because throughout the evolution of video production and movie and TV viewing technology, the screen sizes change. So like the big change that you notice in recent years has been the change from 4:3 aspect ratio to 16:9. This is 16:9. 4:3 is kind of a more square shape. So by using title safe and action safe, it makes sure that no matter what size the TV you're using, if something gets cut off on the edge, you'll still be able to tell what's going on. You'll still be able to see those important information. These days, people don't really use title safe as much. Action safe is really where it's at, though. You can see it right here on Monster Hunter. Like, my name, Captain Mac, up here is within action safe, as is literally everything. The mini map is right up against that action safe box. Mega Nutrients, the text is right above the action safe box. All of these weapon commands right inside the action safe box. Everybody uses this. It is very important, okay? So I use that too.
No way.
Generally when I use my videos, or when I'm doing my videos, where's the text? There we go. Why did it create two? So he says, no way. We type that in. And I use master styles. Master styles are a way for you to keep track of making sure that certain pieces of text always look the same. So I have default, which is my own, green, which is, my friend Green, regular hunter, which is the yellow text I was showing you before, high rank, which is pink, and serious mode, which is the pink text. So we're using green because he's the one talking. Generally, when I do my videos, I ensure that my text does not go past the title safe, so it usually sits right here on top of that line. When I'm editing Monster Hunter, I like to keep it just above the item bar, because if I do create some super long sentence like, I wanna kill a monster today for fun and profit. So then if we center this, you can see it goes over the item bar a little bit, and I don't think that looks good, so I like to put it just above the item bar so that if it is really long like that, you can still see the item bar underneath. It still goes over the minimap, but I don't want it sitting up here either. So when I make Monster Hunter videos specifically, I usually put it up here. But for my normal videos, it is usually sitting down here on this bar. So no way is the text we're going with. I put it up against this item bar so you can tell. Then I hit the center button. Boom.
No way.
No.
And you can see I have my audio waveforms down here so I can tell where the text starts. This one right here on audio track 2, that's Green's audio. This one on both A3 and A4 are actually me talking. A3 is a recording from OBS. A4 is a recording from Audacity. OBS records my audio weirdly, so I like to have Audacity be the audio I use in my videos, so I always have two.
No.
And like, I don't need to include myself saying no, but considering I'm going to be subtitling parts of what I say throughout this shot, it's important to include it, just so you have that consistency. Consistency is important. Like, the important thing here is what he says right now.
She just limped away.
So potentially I could completely get rid of the first two text options, not have the no way and the no, and just have them say, she just limped away. But it's kind of disorienting when you have no one talking and then when you have no text for what they're talking and then all of a sudden you do. And it kind of calls into question, like, why do you have this text? So it's better to just have that text across. And I do that shot to shot, not video, no, across the entire video. Because there's no way now I'm subtitling my entire videos. That'd be way too much.
She just limped away.
A lot of this is my own theories. I just want to state that real quick. A lot of what I'm saying is well accepted thoughts on video production and on internet media, but a lot of what I'm saying is my own views on video production, my own videos on these creative things. They are not hard set rules. If you are going to make videos of your own, do not listen to what I say. Do what you think is best, okay? These are just my own thoughts. If you think to yourself, well, maybe he has a point here, then, you know, build off of that. But these are mostly my own theories on what I think makes a good video. I just wanted to make that clear because one of the worst things you can do to creativity is put it in a box and say this is the right way to do it. There is no right way. There's only the way that I think works best. And the way that I think works best might be entirely different from the way you think works best. And that's fine.
She just limped away.
What?
I don't always include what's it called? I don't know. I'm tired. Punctuation in these text things. I only do it over questions and when it like particularly exciting
What?
moments.
She just limped away.
She's got the death symbol.
She just limped
She's got the
away.
death symbol.
And so to set this one apart from the first time you said she just limped away, I'm adding that exclamation point. In this case, we're both talking. When it comes to times when we're both talking, I do usually do one of two things. Either I choose which one of us is saying something important and I put that in. On a rare occasion, I'll put what both of us are saying in. What I generally do is I just cut out whoever was saying what wasn't important.
She just limped away.
She's got the death symbol. We're doing it.
So then what I'm saying here, she got the death symbol. What that is referring to is what's going on in the minimap. So to draw attention to the minimap, I'm literally going to have it zoom into the minimap.
She's got the death symbol.
But after I finish up the text.
We're doing it. She's got the death symbol. We're doing it.
All right, so then there's that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the anchor point to be down here kind of on the minimap. And we're going to kind of adjust this just to get an idea of what it looks like. See, there we go. I want it to be a little bit higher because the thing that you're focusing on is a little bit higher on this minimap. So you can kind of really get zoomed in on that. Let's move this like this because I want it to be centered, but I don't want it to be too super zoomed in. So we're going to go a little bit further than that. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. I don't like that either. I'm very fickle about this. It takes me a long time to edit. There. That's what it'll look like once it's fully zoomed in. So then what we're going to do from there is create a scale animation.
She's got...
And I like that to be pretty quick generally. She got the death symbol. Is this going to be good enough? Like, because the only problem here is that I'm kind of creating two different draws of focus. Because you want to focus on the death symbol, which is on the minimap. But you also want to focus. You also want to be able to focus on the text. Did I spell symbol wrong? Hang on, let me look this up. I'm super tired, so I may have. No, I did not. I spelled symbol correctly. That's good. That's a good thing. So the only problem with what I'm doing right now is that your eyes are going to be drawn to one of two things. You're either going to be drawn to the Nergigante symbol in the corner, or you're going to be drawn to the text in the middle. Those are in two different spots on the screen, and I want you to pay attention to what's going on with Nergigante. there are a couple ways we can deal with that. Oops. The first of which being to simply change the anchor point position. I try to keep the entire minimap in, but we could always just zoom it in like this, and then you can see. Yeah, I think we'll end up doing that. So you can see the symbol here and the text here. They're not too far apart, so they shouldn't be too distracting. She's got the... And then we zoom in like this. Trying to center it up a little bit. She's got the death symbol. That's a little bit quicker than I like. The death symbol. She's got the death symbol. That's a little slower than I like. She's got the death symbol. I think I'll just go with what I had originally. And we're going to ease out and ease in. I explained what this is a long time ago in a Devil May Cry video. But this is called a basic Bezier. It's an animation... Well, I don't know. I hesitate to call it animation. It's just kind of a keyframing trick. She's got the death symbol. The idea behind it is that, like, if you imagine starting a car, or pressing down on the gas on a car, when you're at a stop sign on a road that goes 45, and you leave the stop sign, you're not immediately going 45 miles per hour. You start at 0, and then you build up to 10, 25, 35, generally gradually accelerating faster and faster. That's what a Bezier is. So essentially, like, right here, our speed is 0, and as it gets closer to the subject, it moves faster towards the subject. And since I've got a Bezier on the other side too, it starts to slow down, so it reaches 0 by the time it reaches it. That way, it doesn't just suddenly leap forward and move. There's kind of a little bit of a build up and a build down from the motion, which looks better.
She's got the death symbol. We're doing it. And
there you go.
Anime moment. Anime moment. The great villain is ready. And I'm far stronger than you could.
No!
Fuck!
That is so infuriating.
We were so close.
Oh, no. Oh!
Okay, so the big thing that happened just now is that you see up in the corner here.
Oh, no.
Green's health drops to goddamn near nothing in a moment, in a flash. And we want to focus on that. And I try to make it so that if I have a sound like this, I try to make it so that the animation kind of goes along with it. You can see that earlier on in the video. I'm not sure where that was. Maybe it was here. Oh god, he's doing this move. Yep, it's right here. Move. So the same thing happened to me. Essentially, one attack, and I had lost all my health. To draw attention to that, I had a bit of a reaction, and I made the animation happen along with my own voice. So here, watch. Oh god, he's doing this move. Oh shit. So in the time that I say, shh, oops, wrong thing. Shit, it moves up to show that, to indicate that that is what I'm reacting to. You know. Oh shit. So I'm gonna kind of, oh, wrong button. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing here. Where was that? Right here.
Oh, no.
We're going to kind of move this to show that health bar as he makes that sound. And halfway through the health bar, he gets a heal. So we're going to kind of zoom it in before he gets that heal. So let's see. How does this look? That's a good angle. If we zoom it in like this, it shows his without cutting off Frankie's health bar. You don't want to cut off something like that. Like, it looks kind of awkward if I were to zoom in further and you kind of just see Frankie's life bar kind of cut off there. So we're going to set a scale point there. Go back to here. Set another scale point and set it to 100.
Oh!
See, my only worry is that you can't really tell that his health is almost dead before that. So maybe we make that even closer. Maybe that's not going to work. Maybe that's not going to work because he heals too quickly after making that sound. So it might be better if we don't do that. It might be better if we change that. So instead, I'm going to have it zoom in the middle before he reacts to it. So you don't feel the reaction as well, which kind of sucks, but at the same time you get a clear indication of what he's reacting to. And again, we ease that in. We ease one out and we ease one in. And it creates a much smoother motion as it goes.
No, no, no! Oh!
You good?
And then I say something, and I like to undo that animation right as that happens. So then...
You good?
So then it moves out as I'm saying it, so you know, you kind of have an indication of I'm supposed to be focusing on something else now. We're not focusing on the health bar anymore, we're focusing on what Max says.
Yeah. Great, in fact.
And I think we'll also add some text in here. Okay. And I generally like to make the text reminiscent of how it's actually being said in the video. A good example of that being if you go to the Angie video.
Hello, Angie, come down for dinner. Your aunt is leaving.
So like right here, shoot.
I swing at his tail. Rude.
I don't think that one's gonna.
Damn it. Angie.
Angie.
This is kind of Mark Twain. Is that who it is? Mark Twain? Let me look this up real quick. Mark Twain. Yes, it was Mark Twain. Mark Twain kind of popularized this style when it comes to literature. The idea of writing out a sentence how somebody says it as opposed to what is proper, which is something that was kind of not used before his time. So like in this example, we were speaking with those kind of New Jersey, New York, middle-aged accents. So here he says, Angie, your mother wants to have a word with you. The proper way to say, like you can see it in here, I said yeah, I said mother, I said ta instead of to. So like properly it would have been Angie, your mother wants to have a word with you. But that's not how he said it, so I did it differently. So same thing here. I say,
You good?
oh, actually I said something totally different. I don't know. Did I might have totally just explained all that for no reason because I didn't say it the way I thought it did.
You good?
Yeah, I kind of did. So I say you good, but because of the way that I speak so quickly, as I'm sure you're noticing as I'm doing this live stream, I tend to speak very quickly, which makes me combine words constantly. So I kind of say you good instead of you good.
You good?
So when I make the text, I make you good instead of you good. That's more
Yeah.
appropriate to what I actually said.
Yeah.
And same thing here. Like I could just say yeah, like just the 4-letter word yeah, but he drags it out. He drags it yeah. So I make the text match that.
Yeah.
So I haven't found a good way to react to like laughing in the middle of a sentence.
Great, in fact.
And then I always like to go back and watch the entire clip that I just edited.
Oh, no, 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 no! Oh!
You good?
Yeah. Great, in fact.
Oh shit, dicks. Oh shit, dicks. No, 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 no. God damn it. Is it the limp? That's a limp. Oh no, 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 no. No!
Wow, I did not show much from that last battle, did I? Like we have a death
Is it the
here.
limp?
A death here that filled the submission and then
Is it the limp?
straight up
That's
to
a
another one
limp.
here.
Oh no, 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 no. No! No! Come on!
No!
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
That fucking... That took us both out?
So this is kind of an interesting thing, and this is, again, something that is totally up to the interpretation of the video creator. If we were still battling Nergigante, I would subtitle this. But at this moment, there's nothing happening on screen that you really need to pay attention to. So the thing that you're focused on is going to be me and Sean talking. So there's really no need to put subtitles in because you're already paying attention to what we're saying. That's, again, just kind of a creative decision that I make. From time to time, I constantly have to make the decision, do I subtitle this or do I not?
the decision that I generally go with is that if what's happening on screen requires text, like, okay, so for a good example, let's talk about the Merry Mafia video. Merry Mafia is a bit of an older one at this point. So Merry Mafia, we did this. This is kind of just in case you don't know about this one. The Merry Mafia video, in this one, we kind of did this weird role play of a New York mafia who's all married, who eats exclusively tuna egg salad. It was kind of a role play thing. So what we were talking about was completely separate from what was happening on screen, and you'll see that throughout the video.
We call tuna egg salad.
So like when we're in the middle of our battles here,
Bye bye.
That is back.
Don't worry, Dallas. I saved you.
starts about
Never
here.
forget
have
you
a
owe me a
reason.
favor for this.
You owe me a favor for this.
Favor.
The favor.
Marry
Marry my daughter. No one's getting married on screen. That's not happening. It's the text. The things that I'm saying are entirely separate from what is happening on screen. So I put text throughout most of this video. It was actually a really painstaking video to put together because I had to put subtitles across most of it. Because whatever was happening, like right here, I'm smashing open. I'm smashing open glass containers to get jewelry, and Sean was talking about feeding people tuna egg salad.
And then we feed them more tuna egg salad.
Totally different from what I'm actually doing. Completely separate things. So that footage is there for the people who want to pay attention to the gameplay. The text is there for people who want to pay attention to what we're doing. The text is there to let you know that that is the purpose of the video. That is what you should be paying attention to, which is why most of that video is subtitled. So when we go back to this MH World video, what we're saying on screen, what we're saying is kind of separate from what we're doing on screen. Like, but all we're doing on screen is nothing. Like, there's nothing to pay attention to. So I have no reason to draw your attention away with subtitles. You know what I mean?
No!
One of the biggest things that I've learned throughout graphic design and video production and photography is that if it does not add anything, then don't add it. So since the subtitles in this case would not help you to understand the video better, they would not help you to focus on what I need you to focus on, I'm not going to add them at all because they're not doing anything.
No, come on!
No!
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
That fucking...
Because all you're seeing
That
here
took
is
us
just a slow
both
pan
out?
with a quest
She's
failed,
cheap.
like, useless. Here, however, this is just a second later.
That's,
With their Doritos for her, that's cheating.
honestly, yeah.
So right there, I'm doing something on screen, and I'm saying something that is completely unrelated. So here, I will add subtitles so that I can draw your focus onto what I'm saying as opposed to what I'm doing. Oops. This isn't a very funny live stream, but I have to say I'm quite enjoying myself just kind of talking about my theories on video production. She's cheating.
That's,
So I talked about earlier, if both of us are speaking at the same time, I either choose who's saying something important, I occasionally put both of us speaking, or I cut somebody out. In this case, like, he's speaking, but he's not saying something important, and it isn't affecting what I'm able... It's not affecting your ability to understand what I'm saying, so I leave it in.
that's,
You know? She's cheating.
that's,
Like, that doesn't distract you away from what I'm saying too well, so I'm not going to cut it out just so, you know he's there. With their Doritos for her, that's... Doritos for her, that's cheating.
honestly, yeah.
And here he's kind of, like I said, I kind of make the text fit what's actually happening or how we're saying it. He's kind of speaking soft-spoken here. So to show that I'm just I don't capitalize the word at the beginning because he's not speaking loudly, he's not angry or anything. He's just
Honestly, yeah.
he's quiet.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
There we go. And again, I always like to rewatch back on it just to see if I
She's
missed anything.
cheating.
That's
With her Doritos for her. That's cheating.
honestly, yeah.
This is one of the biggest challenges for me when it comes to creating videos. It's hard for me to tell when the video is done whether or not people are going to find it funny because I know every second of it. Like, all right, I have listened to this singular clip many times in this one edit. I listened to it the first time when I was cutting down the footage. I listened to it a second time when I was choosing what clips to keep. A third time when I hadn't reached the time that I wanted to. A fourth time as I watched through to see if all the clips worked well together. And this is the fifth time I would have listened to that clip, and then a sixth time as I'm double checking to make sure that it still works. Nothing can surprise me in this video. Comedy lies in surprise. It's the comedian's ability to break your expectations that makes it funny. So when I'm watching through my own videos, I don't get surprised. I can't laugh at them a good chunk of the time. So it's a real struggle going throughout and posting videos. Like, I don't know if people are gonna find this funny because I don't even know if it's funny. I've seen it 100 times.
We also made sure the Doritos for her were environments.
Again, here, I'm talking about something that is completely unrelated to what is happening on screen. Therefore, we subtitle it. That way, you know what to be focused on. There's a really cool, for those of you that are into game theory and film theory, there's a really cool film theory about Mad Max, about how the director directs your eyes. That applies to most everything. I'm kind of directing you when you're watching my videos through using my text, through using my graphics, through using my effects. I'm directing you on what to focus on, you know?
We also made sure the Doritos for her were
And you'll see this. If you go back and watch my videos, you'll see all these things I'm talking about. I feel like a teacher right now.
We also made sure the Doritos for her were
Hopefully I'm not a boring teacher.
invincible.
And I kind of stutter here. Stuttering, I stutter a lot when I speak because it's less of a stutter and more of a stumble because of the fact that I talk so fast. I always have since I was young. I think I get it from my mom because she also talks quickly. I occasionally get stuck and stumble over my words. So I generally try to reflect that as much as I can in the text, and it can be a bit of a pain sometimes. So I kind of said we're in Ven dash to represent that I stopped talking. We're in Ven. And then I go what
For her were invincible.
that's not really the sound I make, is it? What?
Her were invincible.
And then
Environmentally friendly because
and I kind of stumble on there too. That one I do a dot.
environmentally friendly because environmentally friendly because men hate the environment. We're environmentally friendly because men hate the environment. Go green.
Go green.
Go green. What?
And generally when I'm working with text, I don't like to leave. It's like at the beginning of this clip, I left a bit of a gap. This is sort of, you could call it post-roll, pre-roll. It's a couple seconds in the beginning to kind of adjust you to what's happening before I start talking. But when I have text, you know, my option here is to put the text here, elongate it, and then
What?
so I say what? I have two options here. If I want to keep that extra bit at the beginning, I can either have the text start before I start talking, which doesn't look good in my own opinion,
What?
or I can cut it off and there can be a weird gap.
What?
Doesn't look good. So what I do instead is I cut off that extra bit in the end, in the beginning, that I created to adjust your comfortability. Because the thing you're focusing on isn't changing. You're still focusing on the text, so it's okay to get rid of that little comfortability barrier.
What?
See, that doesn't affect it that badly.
You're a man who likes nature?
I kind of stumble over my words here too, so I gotta listen to what I'm saying.
You're a man who likes
I kind of say the.
You're a man who likes nature? Clearly you're a trans woman.
And I just kind of create a new text there, separating it from what I was saying.
Who likes nature? Clearly you're a trans woman. Clearly you're a trans woman.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Watch out! Oh, he hit boulders, dummy! He's just run into a wall. What the?
I think he was
see
going
this?
after me. I am.
Oh, he's having some problems over there.
Is he limping?
She's limping. We haven't even.
Oh yeah. She's got the
Oh
skulls.
shit! We're doing really well. Oh shit! We're doing really well. That's not bad at all.
Oh, mounted.
Mounted. It's time.
It's not like a, you know. Oh, splash flurry. Be ready. Be ready.
Ready? I'm super ready. So ready. So here's the big moment. Here's the triumph of
Oh,
this video.
goddamn. Yes.
Nope, it's
down.
enough. It's enough. It's enough. We're good. Come on, baby. Serious mode. Super amped. Elemental. Just charge. So you can see here. You can see here. I made a bit of a serious mode meme. Serious mode. So what I want to do here is I want to emulate what's going on this mess over here onto the same spot to kind of link them. Okay, so here's where we get a little bit creative. So first things first, we're going to add text for what I'm talking about. Serious mode. All caps because I'm screaming. And we're going to use the serious mode text that I created earlier specifically for this. And we're going to raise this up a couple of spots, and I want to copy these two here. These are both... Actually, no, I'm going to copy these two here. These are the black bars that I made earlier. Serious mode! And you can kind of see the black bars come in. And here's going to be the big deal. Let's go into this. I don't want the 200 intensity. I want the like 150 intensity. Here we go. We're going to take this effect, copy it, and we're going to place it onto here. Here's the only issue I said I wanted the... Oh, that's right. I have an animation here. That's right. So we're actually going to leave this as 0 and boost it up to 150, which hopefully creates a clean animation. Serious... No, there's a bit of a... Something's different here. It's the faded film, isn't it? No, because that's off. That's off. Why are you doing this? Why? Why, mother? Why are you doing this to me? So then we're going to go into our color panel here and take a look at if there's any other change settings I need to be paying attention to. I don't think I changed anything else. This is the one annoying thing about this Lumetri effect. By default, it makes it look different. Like, I had the intensity at 0, which to me should mean that the effect is essentially nullified, but it still shows up. So maybe we do a bit of a fade instead here. Because they're the same shot, so that it'll look the same. There we go.
Come on, baby. Serious mode.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
Come on, baby. Serious mode.
So then it's all photocinematic.
Super amped. Elemental discharge.
And essentially, the moment it dies, I want to cut away from all of this. So then the black bars will just kind of stop there instead of leaving out. And bam, we're going to cut this here and get rid of this effect.
Serious mode. Super amped. Elemental discharge.
And we're going to add text for all of that stuff. I'm saying all those nice screams.
Super amped.
The only thing we have to worry about is whether or not this text is going to be in the way of what's happening immediately on the screen. I'm already kind of worried that the black bars are distracting away from it a little bit too much.
Elemental. Discharge. Discharge.
Super elemental discharge.
Baby. Serious mode. Super amped. Elemental discharge.
And all that stuff just cut. Oh, I just smacked the mic. I'm sorry. All that stuff just cuts away as soon as the meme is done, which is the way that I think will look nice. Now, the only other change we're gonna make here is I want to bring all three pieces of text here into After Effects, and I have to open up a previously started After Effects file so I don't create a new one by mistake. This here is the beautiful thing about the whole entire Adobe suite. They all work together. So like I have all kinds of different clips that I've edited in After Effects that are within this file that I didn't have to export out of After Effects to then use. It's just kind of an After Effects project that I'm using in Premiere. And you'll see how that works in a second. Why is it going to take 26 minutes to open this project exactly? Someone want to explain that? That's what I thought. You better open when I say so. All right. So all we're going to do is we're going to click Replace with After Effects Composition. And we're going to bring it into After Effects. And as soon as it's done, this file is lagging horribly. It probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to start a new file, but I don't like doing that because there's so much going on with the other parts of this project. So we're just going to study. There we go. All right. Now all we're going to do is adjust it so that these wiggle. I wish I knew. I should really look into it. I don't know if there's a way to use this wiggle effect in Premiere. It'd be a lot more convenient for me if there was. And we're going to actually... After Effects likes to create a new pre-composition or a new composition for every text file, but I need the raw text file, so we're going to adjust these a little bit and then pull them back in. So copy, paste, get rid of that. Same thing here. All I'm doing here is changing the alignment so that when we go to add all these wiggle effects, it won't be affected at all. Because the way the wiggle effect works is that it'll create the wiggle, which is kind of just a shaking effect wherever the anchor point is. And we talked about anchor points earlier, but I didn't really explain what they are. It's kind of like whatever software I'm working in considers the center of the file. So like earlier, the big thing that I do this a lot. I change the anchor point to a spot that I want to zoom into. So that when I zoom, when you zoom in, when you increase the scale, it'll scale up to the center of the object. So if you change the center of it, the anchor kind of moves as you zoom. So it's the same thing here. If I were to create a wiggle on this file as it is, it would create the wiggle on this anchor point in the middle, which would look awkward having it shake down here. And the other problem is that I had all of these pieces of text, as you'll see when I go to edit this one, they're all oriented to the left, so that if I were to create like, so if I were to create like an extra layer here, it always goes to the left side. Similar issue with that. The anchor point is then on this left corner. So all I'm doing is I'm changing that anchor point to be in the center, and then I'm aligning it with the center of the canvas. And then we have all of our text files. We can close all of these out. We can close all of these out too, because I don't need them right now. And all we're going to do, I kind of want the amount that it's shaking to build up. So we're going to, and this is the important part, you have to have points to work with. So we're going to select all these and create position points at the beginning and end of all of these. And we're going to do essentially the same thing across all of these. We're going to start with a light wiggle for this one. Frequency, just a 15. Magnitude, like a 20. Nothing too serious. That's a little more than I wanted. So we're going to try it again. You got to kind of play around with it. 15 and 15, how about? Let's go 10 and 10. It's shaking a little more than I like. Yeah, that's better. That's more like it. We're going to copy all of these points and paste them onto both of these. Then from there, and what this is going to do is it's going to ensure that our points... What did I just do? It's going to ensure that our points across all of these aren't going to change too much. So what this is going to do, it's going to create a wiggle between the two position points that we selected. So for the first one, I created position points at the beginning and end, so it created points between the entirety of the beginning and end. Here, I'm only wiggling this frame here to this frame here. So everything in the middle is going to change, but the first ones will stay the same. Okay? That will ensure that these two are in the same position when they switch. Does that make sense? We'll make this 15 and 15, how about? So you can see, these changed, these stayed. Oops, come back. And same thing here. Well, actually, no. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of these position points, paste them onto here. Again, to make sure that they're all staying the same. So then from this point to this point, actually this point back here to this point, let's make it 20 and 25. We'll go hard on it. Super amped elemental discharge. One thing I didn't consider is the fact that now that they're wiggling so much, they might go over the black bars I created. We can change where the black bars are, though, alternatively. And again, it's taking a long time to save just because there's a lot going on in this project. We'll render all this. So let's see how this looks.
Serious mode. Super amped elemental discharge.
Yeah, so we can see the discharge is definitely bouncing on top of that letterbox, even going over here. So all we're gonna do, these letterboxes aren't perfect, but they work. They're actually just black the color black. They're color mats that I have. Oh, jeez. I might not be able to move this at all, actually. They're actually just color mats that I have cropped. And I want to make sure... See, this is the same thing I was talking about with the text. It's going to look awkward if we have this crop just barely cutting off this item box here. So we're going to change it so it still covers up the item box while hopefully keeping us in the green in terms of that. So 85 was fine. At 86 it isn't. So let's go with 85.5 and see how that looks. It's still peeking out a little bit. I can see you there, you son of a bitch. Can we not be selecting this anymore? So we'll just go with the full 85. It's an extremely minute difference, but it will make a slight difference, and that's what we care about. Pulled it back just a little bit. Alright.
Come on, baby.
Serious mode. Super amped elemental discharge!
I kind of did a similar thing in an earlier video. Let's take a look at that real quick. I want to say it was it was episode 2. Yeah.
Like you just
Got big attack for you if
Right
you
here,
sit still
actually.
for a minute. Don't you want to see it? My
Super ultra mega move. So same thing. I created letterboxing that went around the screen. I created a look so that the intensity looked a little bit extra, and these text files wiggle more.
son.
As it goes across.
Ooh, hell yeah.
going.
Big guy, I've got big attack for you if you sit still for a minute. Don't you want to see it? My super ultra mega move. And he avoided it. He avoided it.
Same thing. I kind of pull it out after the end of it.
Serious mode. Super amped elemental discharge!
Yes!
So now that creates a cool end to that. Hopefully, you be the judge. Is that
Come on, baby.
distract away from what's
Serious
actually
mode.
going on?
Super amped
I think it's
elemental
okay.
discharge!
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yes!
Best part?
And so here, this kind of, so I didn't create subtitles in that one part where nothing was happening, and I didn't feel like it would be pulling away from the focus at all. Here, I think it's important to provide context. So even though what's happening on screen isn't interesting and you're already going to be focused on what we're saying,
Best part? 0 deaths.
0 downs, dog!
I still weirdly feel like I should include it. Again, there's no hard set rules. I make it up as I go along.
Best part? 0 deaths. 0 deaths.
Zero downs, dog, dog. Oh, yes.
That feels really good.
Oh, feels good, man. Well, we've done everything we promised in the beta now, didn't we? We killed Angie, we killed Diane, we killed Sonica.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow or subscribe for more live streams or videos in the future. Good job to us for finally taking down Sonica and completing all that we agreed to do in the beginning.
High five.
Oh god, yep.
I
And he
knocked
broke
over
his
my
mic.
mic.
His mic is broken in the cannon. It doesn't work anymore.
I hit my keyboard too.
His mic is broken. You can't hear him. I would add text there normally. But since that'll be the end of the video, it could be kind of awkward to have that in there. Alright. And then there. I'll have to watch back on it to revise make changes. But I'm not going to do that on the live stream because that'll ruin the video for when it comes out. You've seen some of the best parts already. I don't want to ruin the rest for you. I actually got that done a lot faster than I thought it was. We were here for about an hour, and I got all that done. Not bad. Not bad. What do you think? Was this a cool idea? Was this... I know it wasn't super funny, but I hope it was still entertaining to some degree. Kind of interesting to see what goes through my mind when I'm making my videos. And hopefully now you'll kind of have an understanding of what's going on when I make my videos. Actually, I feel bad ending it there because that's so short. So I'll walk you through creating a thumbnail. How about? I'm going to close After Effects because it's eating up computer resources and I don't need it anymore. Create new. God, is this the 8th Monster Hunter World video? I don't know. I think I want to call this video Doritos for Nergigante. Which means I need to change the name of this file already. I'm just going to delete this file actually. New, create new. And because it's a one-shot video, we go in our backgrounds, and I choose my one-shot one. This is a good idea. You like that boss fight? This is a good idea. What's the good idea? Doing my editing live streams? I hope you enjoyed it. Or I hope you have enjoyed it so far. Did you win? It's pretty sweet, right? Giant glowing blue dragon. It's pretty crazy. It's a really cool thing to finish off on. This is kind of something that's kind of come up over time. This is the original like version of the... Well, actually, technically, it's the pink one. This is what my background looks like normally. It's what the size that it is on my videos in the background when it's sitting there. There it is. In the corner. This is the size that I use. What I've learned over time is that that does not look great for my thumbnails. If we go back to Breath of the Wild, when you see it minimized like this, the colors mash together really poorly. It looks okay when it's like full screen, but you never see a thumbnail full screen. That's the purpose of a thumbnail. So over time, I've kind of pulled it out a bit. Like you can see, if you go back a little bit further, if you go into like my later Breath of the Wild videos, you can see like this is the Breath of the Wild 65. This is the Breath of the Wild 66. I kind of zoomed in, or I kind of made the bars larger than they were before, because it looked better. You can see on the thumbnail down here, it looked better, a little more spaced out. I've since made it even larger than that. What's my more recent series? Twilight Princess. Like you can see the bars are really large here, because again, you're seeing a smaller version of it. You don't want to be distracted by it. So when I go into here and I add this background, I always scale it up to 100%. Because I made these backgrounds to be 4,000. They're 4K. They're made for 4,000 pixels in case I ever need that for video. So it still looks just as clear when I have this brought up as much, because at this point it's 1080, and you can see things with better clarity. Yeah, I didn't even expect there to be another monster. So imagine my surprise when this giant glowing blue dragon started breathing fire at me. It was scary. Monster Hunter World. The important thing here is I have a whole collection of monsters in here. We're going to have Nergigante in here. I think I have kind of an idea of what I want to do here. This is going to be kind of stupid. Doritos. Can I get a logo? That has to be a better logo. There has to be a higher quality logo. That one's tiny. There we go. That's more like it. I'm going to save this. And again, just like when we're editing, it's very important to be organized. You can see when you're in my Captain Mac folder, I have stuff for Discord, finished videos, graphics, thumbnails. These are individual project files for all the videos that I'm currently working on. So you go to thumbnails, And you're like, oh, making a Monster Hunter World video. So you go down to Monster Hunter World. And you go to images, which is where I keep all the images that go into those. It's important to stay organized like that. I can't stress that enough. Organization is key when it comes to video production. We're going to have to toy around with this a little bit. I almost want to create... This is going to look really rough, but... Just to give you an idea of what I'm doing here. All right. Layer via copy. So it kind of looks like the Doritos are going in her mouth. That's silly, but but I like it. I think it looks pretty good. So now let's do that again, but actually try to make it look nice. Oh, I come up with weird ideas sometimes. It's the same weird ideas that make me want to make YouTube videos though. So I'm not gonna stop making weird ideas for sure. All right, that covers the mouth area, and then if anything sticks out the top, we can just cut it off. Oh. Time to grind for all the Elder Dragon armor? Yeah. Yeah, it's a real bitch and a half, too, because they hardly drop the parts you need. You can see a little bit's popping out over here, so let's just erase that. No, wrong one. I also want to... Boom. God. Doritos for... God, you can't even see it. You know, I haven't used Popular Standard in... I guess I still use Popular Standard for the font in my thumbnails, but when it comes to my one-shots, I use Arial now, so I don't know why it doesn't default to Arial. Doritos for Nergigante. There we go. And I want to make all of this larger. The important thing you have to think about, like when you're making thumbnails, like this looks fine, maybe. Like you can tell what's happening. It's very legible. But you have to consider the fact that people are going to be seeing thumbnails like this sometimes, you know. It's going to be very tiny. So the constant idea is make it larger. Make it more legible than you already had it. So we're going to kind of increase the size of all of this. The music is pretty frackin' great. I'll agree with you on that one. So I think what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna kind of turn this so it's sticking out like that. I'm gonna adjust this. Oh God, we're gonna have to redo this text actually. Okay, good. It defaulted to what I wanted it to be. Is that the right size? It can be larger. We have to consider that the N has to be the same size as the D. There. See, we're squishing that text a bit more than I like. Let's try switching it to bold and see if that helps. No, it really doesn't. It really does not. And the only real option would be to push the Doritos and the Nergigante out to the edge a little bit, but you also don't want to lose Nergigante by doing that, you know? It looks okay. Looks fine. I'll go with it. The only problem we're having here now is that this Nergigante thing isn't going to have a stroke put onto it so easily because it's kind of jaggy. Not great jaggy. We're not playing Monster Hunter right now. We're editing Monster Hunter related things, silly butts. So the way I like to fix that from time to time, I don't do this often, but what is happening? This is not my normal settings. We're just going to select this entire fucker. I really only have to do this with Monster Hunter because all of the Monster Hunter World renders are the same. They all have weird jagged edges that make it really hard to put a stroke onto them. And this is how I fix that. I select the entire thing. And we smooth it. And we bring the edge in a little bit. And we can take a look at the black and white to kind of get an idea of how jagged it'll still be. And so now I kind of have two of these. And I put that same stroke on there again. And there's still going to be little bits left. Little tiny little bits of the bits left. And we're just going to go into an eraser and get rid of those. So bye to you. Bye to you. When it comes to something like this is the claw. It's part of the image. It's not necessarily intrusive. But it can be somewhat distracting when it comes to what you're supposed to actually be looking at. So we're just going to get rid of it. Ha! I cut off your claw, Nergigante. What you gonna do? And then we have a perfect spot right here. It's important to fill in negative space. So when we have an empty spot like that, it ends up being perfect. For my Jolly Roger. Boom. Right there. Doritos for Nergigante. The last thing I want to add... Depending on the game, I'll make the decision whether or not to include the actual logo or to write out the logo. And I've made that decision. I've variated my decision when it comes to Monster Hunter World because Monster Hunter World has a bad logo. Like, it looks nice. I'm not saying it looks bad. It's just really hard to work with in terms of thumbnails because there's kind of a drop shadow across the entire thing. The back part there is transparent, which causes problems when you're trying to add a stroke or an outer glow. And the top part and the bottom part stick out so much from the actual logo, and it kind of looks awkward if you cut them off. So, like, on this one, you can see, instead of actually adding a stroke or an outer glow, I went in and I used a brush to create a black layer that I then dropped the opacity on, and I cut off the top, which was kind of awkward. For this one, I did the same thing. I created a black layer that I then dropped the opacity on so you could see it. This one, same deal, but again, awkward because I had to kind of cut it off. And then here with the Fall of Angie, I just wrote it in, Monster Hunter World, because I thought it looked better. Oh, wait, no, this is two different variations. I then decided against that and put it in again. This time I added the stroke and the outer glow. It ended up looking okay, but it didn't end up working for all of them. Same thing with Welcome to the New World. God vs. God, I wrote in Monster Hunter World. Same thing with Meat Shield Death Boys, Monster Hunter World. With this one, I'm thinking it's probably not going to work to put the actual logo in. The important thing you have to consider when it comes to making YouTube thumbnails is that there's going to be a time code. Let me see if I can bring up YouTube real quick. There is going to be a time code in the corner. So, and that's not a big deal when it comes to the regular. Why did she upload this? Sorry, this is a friend of mine. that's not going to be a big deal when it comes to the desktop site because it's so little. But when you're looking at the mobile site, that little thing is so much larger. That can like make or break a thumbnail at times. Like I regret largely my Breath of the Wild thumbnails because I put the episode number in that corner. So when you get to later episodes, like sometimes you just can't even tell what part it is on the mobile site. So when we're putting in the logo here, we have to consider that. So let's say I want to put it down here. I would size it up to be like this, but I wouldn't have it go past this corner. And it looks kind of awkward when you're looking at it like this, but when you actually get it on the website, it looks much better. And I'm thinking I'm probably just going to have to do text for this because this isn't going to look super good. We'd have to drop this below this. Yeah, that's not that looks terrible actually. And I also forgot to do anything with this Doritos logo. There we go. New favorite game? What? Watching me edit? Or are you talking about Monster Hunter World? So we're being sort of generous with our placement here because this is going to be cut off a little bit by the time code on the mobile site. But at the same time, you can kind of tell. You know what game it is. Or we could always alternatively put it up here. Decrease the size of my own logo here. Kind of increase this a little bit. The difference being that if I put it across the top, I have to put it across the entire top because it's going to look awkward if part of it is empty. What do we think? Does it look good? I don't know. I have not yet decided whether or not I like that. I feel like we need to center it up a little bit more. Just kind of shifting all that a little bit. So then we run into the problem that I already fucked with this, and so there's nothing there. And also, we have that issue. If you imagine those safe bars I was telling you about earlier, she's kind of going out of the title and action save, so you have to be careful about that as well. Meh. It doesn't look perfect, but it's decent. I'll use that until I think of something better, or I'll just end up posting it when I don't think of anything else. And so thumbnails, Monster World, again, it's important to be organized. I have a projects folder specifically for the projects in case I need to find them. As long as it's legible, that's the really important part. Like, it can look fancy as hell, but if you can't read it, then it's worthless. You know, so it's important to make sure you can still read it. That's the really important part. All right, well, I think that's good. I think that's probably a decent place to stop, being that I don't have anything else that I need to do besides going through and checking the video. And again, I want to do that off stream so I don't ruin the video. So thank you for joining me with this. Let me know if you would like to see more stuff like this, or if you're interested in seeing this kind of thing in the future. And I appreciate the understanding of allowing me to do this as opposed to my normal gaming thing, because as soon as this video is done, I'm probably going to fall asleep and never wake up. So, thank you as always for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.